So you're with Mark and Diane at Real Estate News and Views. And today we're going to talk about, well, you sent me this little article thing, and basically what it's talking about is seller mistakes or pricing errors or the reason why things are priced too high sometimes.
And they're common things that we see in the marketplace. And I think that our viewers can benefit from those, right? There's six of them. We want to go through every one. We'll have a discussion about those. So definitely
Yeah.
hang for that detailed conversation because I think it's beneficial because, we do so much content and videos that we're always watching the market. We always know what's going on. And, I've been told a couple times, wow, you're negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just telling you the truth. It's not
Well,
a negative.
no, yeah, and I think, right now the market is kind of all doom and gloom, but it's because it is.
But it doesn't have to be, though. This market doesn't have to be doom and gloom. The market's doom and gloom because I really think sellers need to have a price discovery moment. And we're going to go through a couple examples that have conditionally sold and pull out some history to show when we overprice a property. No one wants these aren't the times to be doing that. That market was in the COVID time. That we're in a whole different world right now.
But
And
sales are still really, really low. Inventory keeps growing, growing, growing. So yeah, it's not a good market, Mark. Like and I mean, we're not going to come up here and do videos about how great it is because it's
but
not.
I really think there could be a lot of more improvement in the market if the pricing was better to match what the buyers are willing to pay today. And yes, I get all kinds of stupid comments. The market needs to go up 50% the market. No, it does not need to do that before people jump back in. There is buyers waiting to buy, but when they look at prices on Realtor in a lot of those apps, and they're going, "What? Holy cow, that's kind of high for 2,000 square feet in Barrie for 1.1." Yeah, it is. Or we see something else where, why are they asking 1.4? And I'm looking through it and I go, I don't know why, but it's just going to sit. So I think the buyers would jump more if the prices were trimmed down 10 points. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying all properties, because
No.
we've seen the opposite, where we've seen properties that do get listed at the right price. And what happens? They sell.
I sent you the one over the weekend on Windsor Court, and both of us were like, "Whoa, that's priced very well."
Let's show the Windsor Court because it's on my mind. I want to do shut up first, and then we'll kind of go into the six steps to go through what happens with pricing, etc. So like this channel, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us monetize our channels and keeps pushing out content to viewers like yourselves. We also have two links in the beginning of our descriptions, one for home evaluation, and mine are very honest. Um, I'm sure Diane's are. And the second link is for buyers. So if buyers want to buy at a certain range, neighborhood, all the information, the fields are there. Please fill them out. You got questions, call. So Dan, take us through this property a bit. I want to go through the size first. Talk about the area first.
Yeah, so it's 24 Windsor Crescent. It's in Innisfil, which we know is one of the,
Good area. It's a great area.
it's a really good area. It's on a crescent, low traffic, um,
25
five
to
bed,
35
five
feet.
bed, three bath,
Yeah.
over 25, 2787 square feet.
This is big. This is a big home.
Yeah, yeah. Very close to the GO station, very nice. Like it's a great location.
Okay. Okay, let's give out the good stuff too. Let's just talk about price.
So
Then
it's
then
at 938 900.
okay.
True
So
double car garage.
for sure. Lots of parking, even though there's a sidewalk there, you could easily four vehicles
Yes.
side by side. And they're the neighbors doing it. So what I liked about this price, me and you've had a conversation about it, and we both said, call the realtor because they're playing games.
Yeah,
Because this price is, to my mind, is below market value for that square footage. It's priced very, very good.
very
And you
good.
can tell by the
And you
pictures,
can tell the size of
great.
these rooms.
It's a great layout. There's nothing wrong with it. To my mind, they're a little they're They could have asked more, but the seller's motivated to sell, obviously.
They
Seller
have so it's
wants it
open
to.
concept to the kitchen. They have nice built-ins, pot lighting. You can tell this is a big room because that's two
Big room.
three-seater couches, right?
It's a huge room.
Eating kitchen. That looks like the same quartz I had at my old house.
Yeah.
So quartz, stainless steel appliances. And you had a client actually go see it.
I did, and I called them up, and here's how the conversation went. Go check this property. They're doing an open house on the weekend. Let me know. It's under the money. Okay. It's priced very, very well. We verified that there's no hidden agendas. And what I mean by hidden agendas is we've looked at properties before with the same clients, and we go and we look at it and we love it and we want to move forward. And I make the introduction phone call to the agent, and the agent throws at my face going, well, Mark, you know it's a 1.2, so we want 1.2. Yeah, but you're listed at a million one, and that's the right price. Nope, we turned that offer down. That property's still sitting on the market
Yeah.
today.
Well, it does
So
have that nice open upstairs, Mark, that open,
it's got a lot of,
a lot of
I
nice
call it walk
features.
around space. It's roomy. And so these folks went to the property. They really liked it. There is one flaw with it though, and
I'll
it's
show
just
it.
it's the lot. That's it. It's small, right?
This
That's
is
the
the
problem.
backyard right there.
That's it. But it's still priced good for the market. It's priced extremely good for the market.
Yes.
But the backyard is a deterrent, and it was a deterrent to my folks. But they had nothing bad to say. To me, this is aggressively priced property, and it's definitely priced to sell fast.
And
So
it got an offer right away.
correct, and I knew it would. If
Yep.
they would have jumped on it if that backyard was bigger and more usable. But anyway, I'm glad we showed
Well,
one
yeah,
property
because, you know, when you see them come up and you think, whoa, that's a really good price in that area, people are on it. Like I sent it to you right away.
for sure. They're on it. Buyers aren't stupid. Stop thinking they're stupid, or stop thinking that someone's going to give you what you want just because you feel the price is priced correctly. But if the market doesn't feel it's priced correctly, you're sitting. And we
Yeah,
have a lot of inventory sitting on this market and
I
continually
share our
being
article now
refreshed.
because you kind of let into it.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the first they're saying is the emotional attachment. So sellers often overvalue their home because of personal memories and time spent there. This emotional bias can cloud their judgment about market value.
That's it.
I
We
see
see
that
a
all
lot
the
of it,
time.
right? We see a lot of it. Well, I know, Mark, or you showed me the comparables, and I'm making this up, apples to apples here, but I got, marble floors or something. Okay, that's great. We can up it by 2K maybe. But don't think it's worth 50K more, 60K more, 80 more K, right? This market is driven by price today,
Hmm.
where the COVID market was driven by low rates, excitement, and afraid of missing out kind of buyers. I need to get in. That drove the market up. That market's not here anymore. And
Well,
it's not
Mark,
coming back.
you want to know something too that I really want to really want to kind of get through to people is just because you think something is really great doesn't mean everybody does. Remember when I went to that one in Innisfil? Nice man. And he had got marble floors brought in like 20, 25 years ago when he bought it, but they were like had a pink vein, white and pink. So he spent a lot of money on these things and he loved them, but
Right.
99% of the people would hate them.
100%. 100%.
They don't want pink floors.
They don't want pink floors.
I say I might like a dark kitchen, Mark. That is my preference, and you want a light one.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
just like we've been remember that one on a realtor owned it on Brucker.
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
and she did everything black.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I showed that and it looked really pretty in pictures, but like everything was black and it was pretty overwhelming. So, and it sat on the market forever and she had to keep reducing. So
Yep.
just because you spend money on something and you love it doesn't mean everybody's going to love it.
100%. We should show, since we're on the first one, emotional attachment, why don't you bring up the spreadsheets for, say, Barrie, because we just done some stat videos for Barrie Innisfil to show the viewer the amount of inventory. So it's just not us sitting up here talking about that article as an example. So these are the numbers that, again, we're not going through, a lot of stuff, but we want to go through the inventory based on the price points. And you can see 5 to 6, I'm not even going to do because it's just a low amount for this community. But 6 to 7, when we got 40, these are the sold stand 48,
Yeah.
111 active inventory in that range. So sales are flat to last year. But this is the thing that I want our viewers to pay attention to, Diane, is this part right here. 56% of the inventory, the 111, is not selling.
Hmm.
Question mark. Why?
Listen,
Price.
56 is a good number, Mark. Look at
Yeah, I
93,
know. We haven't even hit the
93,
bad one.
92.
7 to 8, 38 solds, 161 active listings, 40 in 2024 April, flat, 76% not selling. So 24% of the inventory is selling in that price range.
Yeah,
Small numbers.
very small.
Further, and these three ranges, six right down to 6 to 9, have been growing for year over year.
Yes.
That's a point that I want our viewers to understand. We've been doing these videos for 2.5 years and really covering the market on a monthly basis with these stat videos, and we've seen a lot of growth with listings in that range.
Yeah,
So
normally our biggest range is over 1 million.
correct. And 8 to 9, 19 sold, 279 active, 34 sold last April, 44% not
Below.
different year over year. 93% aren't selling.
I know.
That's a problem.
It's
So I want
horrifying.
viewers to understand that if there's motivation to sell, you got to price it right. But
Yeah.
and price it at the market. That's it. Price it. Not saying price it to sell like a Windsor. Price it at market value today.
Well,
Get
this is
emotion
why.
out of
So
it.
here, look at this leads us right back into this. Lack of market knowledge. Some sellers don't understand local market conditions and price their homes based on outdated information, online estimates like Zillow, or what they need to make financially, not what buyers are willing to pay.
It's the biggest problem in our market today. Let me go to the agents first. Okay.
Hmm.
Because we have a lot of out of town agents buying and selling up here. They don't live here, but they do business here. And that's fine. Their license allows that. But how well do they know this local market if they're predominantly selling in North York area? They don't. And are
No,
they, and you think about it. If I was an agent, full-time agent down there, Dan, and I walk into a town, I'm gonna go down there, we'll just say they're a million, 1.1. And up here, when I walk into yours or another a client's going, oh, look at it. Oh, I'm already kind of biased going, oh my God, if this is in North York, you'd get 9 or you get a million. Let's try 750. They don't see the value. Meanwhile, the right value is a 650.
yeah.
You see this. And then another point to that is how many new agents are into the market less than 5 years? There's a lot. They didn't have
Well,
to do anything.
I
In,
heard there was a huge influx of COVID.
well, there is because there was a ton of money to be made.
Yeah.
So they haven't been through a cycle or a changing market. And when I say changing, it changed really quick in 2022. And then it kept doing its thing in 2023 and 4. And now in 2025, it's changed again.
Yeah.
So they don't know. So if you're getting an evaluation, get 3. And if they're not showing you numbers like we're showing you and showing you sold listings, I look at the actives too. I'm guilty of looking at the actives in a sense, going, what's listed in that area at this price range based
Yeah.
on the square footage, type of home, etc. I looking at days of market. I'm looking for guidance, right?
Yeah.
So it's important. I don't think, Dan, I don't think there are a lot of agents really understand this market we're in today and don't know how to navigate around it. That's my thoughts on that.
Well, it's true. I mean, a lot of them around here I've talked to, friends and people I know, they've been pretty good. But then, anyway, I don't know. I don't want to dog people. The third thing is testing the market. Some sellers list high to see what happens, thinking they can always lower the price later. We hear this all the time.
All of them.
However, this can backfire as overpriced homes tend to sit longer and get stale in the eyes of the buyer.
All right. I got a couple examples that come to mind, and we talked about in our last video. There's one sold on Grants Way. It was listed in May 17th, 2024. Okay. For 1,478,000 or 479. It's got an accepted offer at 1,290,000 last week, and it's just sold firm. Property was vacant. There's a thing of testing the market. Originally, that seller goes, "Hey, let's test at this price range." It didn't work. Shifts in strategies, Dan, right? Where we're let's try 999, get people in, doesn't work, raises the price back up. Lots of that going on. Cancel, relist to keep it fresh as we go. That only goes so far. And the buyers that are out there today are sick and tired of that shit, right? They're
Yeah,
sick and tired of, oh, are they holding off on offers? It's so embedded in their heads today, right? That they don't want it anymore. They back away. So when I'm looking at that price, did that seller hit some price discovery? Think they hit some price frustration along the lines where they're sick and tired of this house sitting vacant, paying taxes, paying people to look after it, upkeep, shovel the drive, you name it, maintain it, and then it's sold at the right price. But being sold at 1,290,000, do you think they could have got more last July? Yep, they
yeah,
could have. They
yeah.
could have would have
The
priced it
problem,
right.
the problem is, remember when I was talking about last week when we did a video about time and money? It's the same thing. The longer, everything's about time and money. The longer you sit there, the harder it's going to be to get that number.
You're not getting it.
I
It
know.
doesn't sell in 2 weeks. Let's give it 3 weeks in this market that we're in now, and hopefully, we see some transition out of it. Um, but if it isn't, you're overpriced. You
Hmm.
as the agent need to figure out how much you overpriced.
Okay, so that's the next thing. Poor agent advice or pressure. Not all agents give honest pricing advice. Some overpromise to win a listing, a
Got
tactic
it.
called buying the listing, or they might lack local expertise. So
There you go.
we have talked about this buying the listing. Oh, shoot. We have talked about this buying the listing before,
Yeah,
where people go, some agents will go in and say, "Oh, I can get you like that
100%.
1.2 on where was it? Golden Meadow.
Which one? Oh,
The one that in the fall, I think, or the winter when they contacted you and said they were in real trouble because they already bought and the
okay.
agent told them they could get 1.2.
Okay. Yeah, that was on Taylor. I talked to that guy for 2.5 hours. So same thing. He was in the home for 25 years, him and his wife. He was retired, wife retiring soon. Beautiful street, Taylor. Had a two-story, Diane, 1,950 square feet in that range. A lot. I think it was 48 or 50 by 225. It was a long, deep lot, really rare in that area. So definitely some demand for that. And he doesn't know the market, right? But the agent came in. A friend of a friend referred them to this agent. Well, if this is what you think it is, but I really don't think it's that high, don't worry about a thing. Here's the comparables. They weren't sitting on a laptop going through solds and you know finding apples to apples. Because I asked them, well, your house isn't worth that. What were these listings? You didn't really look at them. Because, well, I thought she was the expert. Long story short, that property sold for 960. And that poor client, that poor gentleman and wife made a decision to buy a fixer upper and spent 800K on it, but needs 100 and some K to upgrade it. They thought they'd put some money away for a rainy day, right? We're retiring, maybe want to go travel. That fund is gone from this.
Well,
Poor
Mark, I
advice.
and when you told me about the call and I looked up what they bought at 800, I was
Yeah, it
shocked.
was terrible. Terrible.
Like
So,
they paid 800 for that? Like what it
right.
it was because it wasn't the greatest area either.
No, he had a great area.
I know.
Poor guy gave it up, right? So he had to give it up because he was in a bad position because he gets sued because he
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to fulfill the obligations of the other transaction that he bought. So he had no choice. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to read a text too because it's just going to go into something. Sometimes it's just not about the money of what agents charge as a commission. And everybody goes, what do you charge? The first question, even before your ass is on the seat, what's the commission? Well, let's get to that later on. Let's talk about certain things. So I got a text from a prospect that I showed some properties back in February, March. There, I'm going to open it up. Give me 1 minute. I did one more follow up as I like to do. I do 3 follow ups and then I'm done. I
Yeah.
don't do it. I stop. Let me just pull it up. I can't find it, but I'll just put my name. Okay. Shoot. I can't find it. I mean, just do one more thing. I don't want to keep everybody in the me for this. That doesn't matter. I'll talk. I know that off by heart.
Yeah.
So anyway, she responded back and said, you know what? Thanks for your work showing us around, blah, 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 blah. But we went with another agent that we bought a house in St. Vincent Street in Barrie because the agent, they had a condo in Mississauga. So the agent gave them a deal and a half. It was too good to be true. So let's just say it's probably under 1%. And they bought on St. Vincent. So they might have saved six to $7,000 in real estate commission, but to me, have made a terrible buying decision on St. Vincent. I don't know where it is. I don't need to ask, but you and I both know parts of that St. Vincent isn't good. Further north you go on it, it's better, leads off to better areas, Midhurst, Osprey, what's it, Osprey Ridge, some good streets over there. But the number one problem with it, it's busy.
It's really busy.
It's
So I
busy.
was talking to a buyer that called me from our one of our videos, and I said, let me put it this way. I don't take you where I wouldn't live
100%.
unless
Show them that area. Yeah,
unless your budget won't allow that.
100%.
So like if your budget is 500 or 550, we got to go in Letitia.
You
Like
have to.
I have to. There's nowhere else you're gonna be able to get. But there
Right.
are nice places in Letitia too.
100%.
So, I
100%.
mean, you kind of you have to know, and I work on it and you work on this on the basis that you want your clients to be happy, you want them to be in a good location. The problem I found is I've had my other client look at the one on Toronto Street.
Hmm.
He bought with his Toronto agent and then called me to get to sell it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, do you know where this is?
Yeah. Why did you do this?
Why would you buy this? Well, he said it was a great deal and blah blah
Oh, it was
blah.
a great deal. He's up from the McDonald's and he's up from a methadone clinic with a bunch of crackheads. That's a great deal.
And he
There's a
paid over asking.
right.
And
There's
and never even
a
looked at it. He never even looked at it and he paid over asking.
folks. This is the number one thing right here. Honest pricing advice. And an honest agent will give you just not advice on the property, but like Diane said, neighborhoods. Bang. We don't like to pressure people to buy, 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 buy. Just get the commission gone and thanks very much. No, it's about the relationship. It's important. I
Well,
want the client in the best area.
most of our clients, even now, are past clients or
Yeah,
referrals.
100%. 100%. There's no pressure. But
No.
the agents today that, again, um, who are not doing this full time end up giving, oh, I got a friend, he's great, great. And then, you know what? He gives some commission away. He'll put some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
This is a rapid thing going on.
Yeah.
So you buy through me and I put 3,000 in your pocket and I get paid. Huh? You're gonna give this guy 3 grand and you're gonna make the biggest mistake of your life and lose 300 grand maybe.
Yeah.
Look at your
Or be
guy.
miserable where you're living too.
Holy cow. If he sold today, how much would he lose?
Well, from what I can get him, because he ended up renting it out, 150 grand.
That's pretty expensive. Would you rather lose 6 or 3 grand and work with someone that is going to protect my best interests so I make good buying decisions? Because that can financially cripple somebody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So anyway, enough about that one.
Next thing, chasing past highs.
Oh, that's my favorite.
In previously hot markets, sellers may base their price on peak values from a year or two ago, ignoring recent slowdowns or increased inventory. Well, we all
Oh,
know that's happening.
that's yeah. We just been talking about it for the last 30 minutes. I don't think we need to talk it that much because we went through the inventory levels of where the inventory is sitting so high. Or go back to that. Might as well go back to it now and just I won't go through the numbers again, but let our viewers again see those numbers. This is just not an we only do Barrie and Innisfil and some communities in the close by. But if someone's in North York, trust me, it's going to be like this. This is
Well, this is right now in Southern Ontario, we have this issue everywhere.
in Central Down. We do.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
do.
yeah,
It's a problem. There's a
yeah.
lot of product. There's a lot of sellers going, well, I'll sell if I get my dollar. And, I should have sold 3 years ago and the market was hot and I missed it. And I really believe my house is worth it. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No,
Not.
and we're like I said, it's we're in this problem everywhere around us. Peel, like
Huh.
Richmond Hill, North York, Toronto, it doesn't matter. Like
Doesn't
it's
matter.
no, this problem is everywhere right now.
Doesn't matter. It's happening.
Yeah.
The the market needs to be repriced.
Okay, Mark, and this is the last one because our I see our time's ticking. And
Okay.
I just talked about this. We just had a discussion. Renovation over confidence.
Lots of that. Yeah.
They do a fix, they add this or they add that.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark, you know what? I have the exact perfect story for you to tell. You have a new listing coming up in Innisfil,
Hmm.
and you guys kind of agreed to a price.
Well, I said my price suggestion. We haven't agreed to price yet, but my suggestion, yes, based on what I've seen in the market currently listed, days on market, bigger, maybe 30 grand difference in my price, but they got a lot more house. So
But
yes,
he painted, he
yeah,
said
did some,
he,
yeah, and I don't know what he did because we missed it today, but said he did some things, clean it up, and now he thinks it could be worth X amount of more dollars. No, no. He's making it more saleable. There's a difference.
that's exactly what I
And
want you to talk about.
sure it's clean. Make sure the paint is freshened up. Make sure the baseboards is freshened up. Cupboards, whatever it could be, little things, change some light fixtures. To me, that's a bit of lipstick and freshening up. That's the right thing to do. But if someone's going into say, hey, I want 50 grand more, what do I need to do? Okay, you need to completely change all your doors, change all your fixtures. We need to upgrade the kitchen a little bit and the flooring. That's it. There goes 50K. There goes, I should say 50K, but I bet there's 30K,
Well,
right?
and when I go and tell me if you do the same thing, when you go to a listing appointment, because one of mine in Innisfil, I just did this, okay? And you see the solds, but they had an updated kitchen,
Mhm.
brand new cupboards, everything new.
Mhm.
Well, I deducted that off the price.
Yeah, you kind of
Meaning, meaning if they got 865 and they got have a brand new kitchen and everything, I'm getting nowhere close to 865. I got to deduct off that.
100%. 100%.
If they've updated every bathroom in the house and mine is all original, well, I got to deduct that too.
Yeah, you're not getting 865. It's not happening. It's not happening. Don't think you can. This is not a price. Let's just see if someone will come in and pay this now. Those days, it's not coming back, Diane, right?
And you know another thing I find? If you go and put in a new kitchen and you do all custom,
Mhm.
custom cabinetry,
Hmm.
custom everything,
Hmm.
and you pay $50,000,
Hmm.
and I go to Rona and I get pre-made cabinets and I get a quartz countertop and I
Hmm.
pay 20,000,
Hmm.
the average buyer coming and looking isn't going to be able to tell which one you paid 50 and what one you paid 20.
Not even close. Not even
You're
close.
not getting that extra money for over renovating.
No, there's no guarantees in that game. And I don't think a lot of people need to do that. I think a
Nope.
buyer walking in wants it clean, keep them in the home as long as you can, looking at it, freshen up some paint, change some light fixtures. Don't get into the thing of, oh, I'm going to change all my appliances. I'm going to put all granite and quartz down. I'm going to gut the back. You're talking big money, and there's
And
no
you don't get
guarantee.
your money back half the time for
That's
those
too
things.
much. No, that's too much risk. If you're going to be there and say, I'm going to be here for 10 years and I want to enjoy my home this way, yeah, do it. You'll
Hmm.
get it back. You will, but you're not
Yeah.
getting it back next year.
No.
If you sell in 2 years, maybe you're not, unless there's some big market shifts to the positive.
Yeah.
But I don't expect that,
And
right?
sometimes, well, that's why I also wanted to mention sometimes they're upgrading or picking things and doing renovations that they would like that other people don't.
I agree. It's huge,
It's
right?
huge.
Yep.
All like I've seen it lots of times where somebody's updated a full bathroom and
Yep.
they've done like, the black tile with that white line through it.
Yep. Yeah. I hate it.
Thank you. A lot of people hate that.
Right. So they go, great, I got to replace all these tiles. That's expensive.
Or sometimes they just like if they see things that are overwhelming, they just go to a different property.
They do. Some do say, no, there's too much work to get to where I want it. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I hate all this. Like if I got to paint a couple rooms, okay. If I,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean? If I got to change some things,
Sure.
but trying to remove ceramic tile,
It's a mess. It's a big job.
and if
Okay.
I hate it all, I'll just bail and go somewhere else. There's so much on the
Well,
market.
there's a lot to choose from today, right? There's a lot of inventory. Take your time looking through it, buyers. Take your time. It's okay to view 10 properties. It's okay to view 20, but just view the right 20 out of
Well,
239.
listen,
Um,
Mark, the other thing is just before we sign off, people have to realize that when they're buying, they don't pay any real estate fees.
No, no. Seller's paying those.
The sellers are paying all those. So
Yep.
if you're not selling and you're only buying, why wouldn't you like, I don't know, why would you get somebody from out of town that doesn't know anything? Like it always boggles me.
I don't understand either, Dan, but people are continuing to make mistakes by using a friend of a friend that, or they work in Toronto, but they sell in Barrie a bit. Uh,
Or they get a kickback.
there's so many things going on. So, depending how important it is that couple grand in your pocket worth it to making a bad decision? Then yeah, then go do it. I encourage you to go do it. Wouldn't be something I'd do, right? It's not costing me nothing. I want to work with someone that knows the community, someone that's going to have my best interests, right?
Well, you know what the problem is too, I think, Mark, is that because we're in this business and we talk to a lot of people, we hear more horror stories than most do.
We hear them all. We
Like
hear
we'll
them.
have the buyer that has lived there now for 6 months and they can't stand the noise and they want to move already.
Mhm.
Like I've had my guy on Toronto, like there's guys all over the place. I had another group from Toronto Street investors that bought there too, and they did the same thing up the street. They didn't even go see the property. Real
Yeah,
estate agent said it was a great deal,
yeah,
and they got into the same mess.
yeah. Happens. Make good decisions. Don't play the short game and saving money because you're gonna pay it back plus 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 plus. That's
Yeah,
my
and you're going to be stuck. Like both
oof.
of all those people I'm talking about, they're
Oh,
all still stuck there. They're all holding it because they can't get out now.
take it out. You need solid advice. Okay,
Hmm.
let's cut it there. Remember, subscribe to the channel for more information in this market with it we're in today. See ya.
Perfect. See ya.